Alright, y'all. Continuing on with my video journals as I document this process. This is going to be day 83 and day 82 since I forgot to upload yesterday. Was at work yesterday and I was talking to my plant lead, and he told me, he was like, hey, by the way, I just want to let you know that I applied for your job. I was like, what? It caught me off guard. He was like, yeah, I got an interview for your position. And I was like, oh, well, damn. I hope you get it. But I went online, I went on LinkedIn to basically look at my job. It feels weird knowing that you're about to leave somewhere and seeing your job posting, knowing that you're already there. Now, with me being a hiring and firing manager, I've had to put in recs for people that were always working with me that didn't know they're about to get the hammer. But now, here I am, knowing that I have to leave, not necessarily getting the hammer, but knowing that I'm leaving the place. And now, my job is up to grabs. It feels weird. So I knew it was gonna happen. I talked to my staff last week about it so they wouldn't be blindsided, so they wouldn't think I was getting fired. So everybody knows what's going on. But it just feels weird seeing your job out when you're going and you're sitting in that office every day knowing that somebody else is gonna be in that seat. And I know, and you know, you should not be married to any position because anything can happen. If I wasn't choosing to leave, maybe my performance could drop, maybe the company's money could shrink and I could get laid off. There's always something that can separate you from your income. So you should never be that invested into it. But as humans do, we get invested. You spend the majority of your time in some place, you're gonna be invested in that place. I've had a lot of careers, even when I was a supply sergeant. I didn't love that job, but I spent a lot of time in that job, and I always try to find ways to get out and be better. But I actually like this role. I like the work that we do. I like the people that I work with. Of course, you got some bad apples in the bunch and you got to make adjustments, but for the most part, I like what I did. And I still like what I do. So let me not talk in past tense because I'm still there. I like the feeling of being in charge. I like the feeling of empowering other people to make decisions that are to a benefit of their career. I've told multiple people that I work with, whether you want to leave here or whether you want to stay here, I want you to make the best decisions for yourself. I'm not that type of manager that'll get mad if I find out somebody else is looking for another job. I'm not going to get mad because I understand. Everybody has to do something that benefits them, whether it's to the company's detriment or not. I ain't never been no hard ass about that. So I like having that experience. I like being able to empower people. I like being able to help people. I like being able to lead teams to get jobs done. I like to develop people. The plant lead that I'm talking about now, he was just a regular employee, but he came in, he busted his ass, gave him more duties and responsibilities. He got more money because of that. Gave him more duties and responsibilities. Now he got more money because of that. Now he's the highest paid person on the floor. And he hasn't been here a year yet. But I noticed that work ethic, and I reward work ethic. So I'm gonna miss being able to do that with people. Now whatever I do next, hopefully I'll be able to do the same thing. But like I said, moving overseas, I know that those type of roles are few and far between. So I may have to go back to being a team player. I may have to go. I may have to go back just to being that person on the floor. The reason I lead so well is because I can follow so well. I've taken orders my whole life, my whole military career. So I finally got to a point in my post-military career to where I became the leader. And I was so good at leading because I was so used to following. I was great at following. So I have no problem taking orders and giving orders when the situation is right. Even at my job now. Yeah, I'm the boss or whatever, but I still take orders. I take criticism from people that are below me on the pay scale because their input matters. My title matters, but if you have that on-the-job experience, that on-the-job training, if something I'm doing is not working, I'll take that into consideration, and I'll change my behavior. I'll change the process based off your merit. Not a lot of managers do that. Not a lot of supervisors do that. I'm willing to do that. And I think that's the reason why I was so successful at my current role now. Are there things that can be improved? Of course, it's a job, dude. There's nothing that can't be improved on when you're dealing with the type of business that we in a service-based business. You're gonna have people call out. You're gonna have OT. You're gonna have all this type of stuff. You got to deal with profit and loss. You got to deal with looking at the data to see, okay, what can we improve? What can we improve based on data-driven decision making? I know that's like a hot term that people use in the office, but it's true. And I was able to learn and somewhat master that. So I'm gonna miss being able to do that. But it's only temporary, so I have to solve this problem. And this is the problem I've been thinking about for years. Even before I knew that we were going to get orders to a place that is so far away, that's so extreme. So that's the problem I wake up trying to solve every day. And my nature will not allow me to quit until I solve that problem. So that's what I'm gonna do. Whether I'm sitting in the manager chair or I'm a food service worker at Starbucks or something like that, I'm gonna find a way to figure it out. So this whole process is teaching me about humility. I already had humility, but I guess I'm getting a reintroduction into humility and just starting over from the bottom. And when I say bottom, I mean starting over from zero when it comes from a financial aspect. Now, I have a lot of skills that I've gained, that I've acquired, a lot of experience that I have now. So I won't be starting from the bottom in that aspect, but I just got to find a way to figure it out. And that's what I'm gonna do. But my job is open now on Indeed, on LinkedIn, and if you are hired, I'm gonna be training you. So we'll see what happens.